Creality Ender-5 Max promises massive, pro-grade 3D printing at a hobbyist price. Either we have finally reached affordable large-format reliability, or this is just another giant box of headaches waiting to happen. On paper, you get a towering cubic frame, a huge build volume that dwarfs an Ender-3 automatic bed leveling, filament runout protection, and whispery claims of high-speed printing with 0.1 mm precision. Sounds like the budget workhorse of your dreams. But here's the thing. Big printers amplify every tiny problem. A slightly warped bed on a normal printer is annoying. On a big bed, it is print-ruining. Here's what caught my attention when I put this on the bench. I actually built this thing, tuned it, and ran it hard for 3 solid weeks. I have put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after that testing period. So, what does the Ender-5 Max actually claim to do? In Creality speak, this is marketed as a prosumer machine for makers who want to go big without going broke. The big promises are huge build volume so you can print helmets, props, and tall vases in one piece, rigid cubic frame for better accuracy and less wobble than bed slingers, automatic bed leveling and resume print features for set-it-and-forget-it reliability, high printing speeds with smooth, detailed surfaces out of the box. Sounds pretty bold, right? If it delivered all that reliably, this could replace a fleet of smaller printers. But here's where things get interesting, and a bit complicated once you start actually printing. Reality check. They claim huge build volume equals huge convenience. What you actually get is huge potential plus huge sensitivity to setup. On my unit, the first prints looked okay in the center of the bed, but corners started lifting, and I could see slight elephant foot and inconsistent first layers at the extremes. That is the curse of large beds. Even a minor surface warp becomes a real problem when you are trying to use all that space. I had to spend a stupid amount of time dialing in manual and auto leveling to get usable coverage. They claim fast printing with high precision. Let's be real. You are not effortlessly running 100+ millimeters per second on a big, heavy moving gantry machine without trade-offs. When I push speeds past the typical 50-60 ms hobby sweet spot, ringing on vertical walls and slight layer shifts started showing up, especially on taller prints. Physics does not care about marketing. Moving that much mass that fast on long belts means vibrations, and vibrations mean artifacts. They claim the rigid cube frame gives rock-solid quality. The frame itself is indeed more stable than your classic budget bed slinger, but the weak links are still there. Budget rollers, belts that need frequent retensioning, and a big, heavy bed that has to lift the print vertically. On taller prints, any slight play in the Z lead screws or wheels shows up as subtle banding. The frame is not the whole story. The motion system and QC matter just as much. They pitch automatic leveling as the cure for all bed issues. Reality check. Auto leveling is not magic if the physical bed is warped or flexing. My probe mesh clearly showed low and high spots. I had to shim and tweak the bed mounting to get it into a reasonable range where the firmware could compensate. So yes, it helps, but it is not a one-click miracle like the marketing implies. And here is where things get interesting with real users. When I dug through multiple review sites, there is a pattern. Tons of people love the size and print quality after tuning. But there are also consistent complaints about warped beds, broken fans out of the box, and noisy stock components. So it is less a guaranteed workhorse and more like tech roulette. If you get a good unit and you are willing to tinker, it is awesome. If not, it is a large, expensive problem child. Let's break down the key areas. Print quality. When tuned, the Ender-5 Max can absolutely produce clean, detailed prints. Think smooth cosplay armor panels, big functional brackets, and vases with nice consistent walls. Layer lines are comparable to other Creality machines in this price bracket. But here is what nobody tells you. Getting there at full bed size takes effort. On smaller prints in the center, it looks great. Push it to the corners or fill the build area and you will quickly see where your leveling and mechanical tolerances are off. Speed and build volume. The marketing loves to throw around big numbers for speed and size. The build area really is spacious compared to your typical 220 by 220 millimeter bed. You can print helmets in one go instead of slicing them into 4 parts. That is awesome. But if you try to blast out giant pieces at high speed, you hit that mathematically impossible zone where they claim speed, detail, and reliability all at once. The real sweet spot is moderate speeds, conservative acceleration, and accepting that big high-quality prints still take many hours. Build quality and reliability. The metal frame looks and feels solid, but the QC on components can be a mixed bag. Some users report perfectly flat beds, others get visibly warped plates. The stock fans are loud and some fail early. The stepper drivers and board are decent for the price, but this is not a silent, premium machine out of the box. What the marketing does not mention is that many people immediately upgrade to better springs, glass or PEI beds, and quieter boards just to make it more civilized. Ease of use. Assembly is not rocket science, but it is not beginner-friendly either. Picture a few hours of bolting, squaring, routing cables, checking belt tension, and then running multiple test prints and bed-level passes. If you are coming from a fully pre-assembled printer, this will feel like work. The UI is basic but functional. It will not hold your hand. This is a machine for someone willing to tweak, not for someone who wants true out-of-the-box perfection. Here is my verdict after 3 weeks of living with the Ender-5 Max. This is not a skip, but it is absolutely a buy with caution. The pros: genuinely huge build volume, a rigid frame that can produce great results, and a price that undercuts a lot of other large format options. The cons: uneven quality control, a finicky large bed, loud stock hardware, and a setup curve that will frustrate absolute beginners. It is worth it if you are a tinkerer who specifically needs big prints and you are okay investing time and maybe a bit more money in upgrades. If you just want reliable plug-and-play, save your money for something more turnkey and enclosed. For the right person, it is a powerful tool. For the wrong person, it is expensive confusion. Stay savage out there. If this review helped you dodge a bad buy, or decide that the Ender-5 Max actually fits your needs, I have put the link to check current pricing and read more real user reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these deep dive investigations without costing you anything extra. Drop a comment with what you are planning to print first, or tell me what printer you want me to tear apart next. Hit subscribe if you like brutally honest tech breakdowns. This is your channel name, cutting through the marketing hype so you do not have to.